Okay, my man, let's do some player ratings now. Just, we haven't had a deep dive. Obviously, we'll both watch the tape again and just look more in depth. But just off your gut feeling and what you felt from the performance so far, we'll just go through, the from 1 to 17 and just give a number out of 10, where you think each player was. So let's start with Chance. I thought it was one of his best performances in the last year or so. Probably for me, you got to give him up around that 8 or 9 mark. Just pure effort, pure heart. What would you have in your opinion?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 9. I think that the only sore moment was that 40-20 miss, but everything else I couldn't really find too much wrong with his game in general, and I thought he changed the momentum of the game in a lot of big moments. So I think he was one of our best out there. So I'm going 9 out of 10.
Yeah, no, very nice. Tane, another great performance. I thought his reads on edge defense were fantastic. His involvements, his little snipes, even out of yardage, you think this kid's going to get smashed. Bang, he finds a little crease, gets us on the front foot. I had him in that 7 or 8 range as well. I thought a really, really good game from him. And his involvements, I thought they were really impactful. What did you have with Tane?
Yeah, I'm probably going to run that. Was exactly right there with you. I'm thinking we'll go 7.5. I thought he was really consistent, really great. I could probably push into an 8 as well, being very vital in that, try to get us out into that really good lead. So, I'm going to go with an 8. I'll push him up to an 8. I think defensively he was really strong, shut down a lot of moments, and he had a lot of X-factor moments as well. So shout out to Tane, incredible performance there.
Ali Leatoa, for me, close to the man of the match. Obviously, his involvement's getting over the line, but mate, he did a great job on Mark, who's just as good. Got to give credit to Mark as well. He's going to be a future star. You can tell the quality's there. But his work defensively as well, his intensity, his way to find over the line, definitely for me, man of the match, close to a man of the match. The performance, but in the realms of an 8 or 9, maybe even close to a 10 there, but. Just loved what he showed, and just at that young, ripe age, talent shines when it's given the opportunity, and you can just tell with him, he's got a lot of talent and bright future ahead of him.
100%, bro. I'll play off the back of you there. I'm going to go on 9 for his performance here. 2 tries, 112 meters, 2 line breaks, massive moments. And you're right, defensively, the way he moved, the way he covered, I thought that he was really, really strong tonight, and he's got a massive future.
On the other side there, Pompey. Thought a good, solid game from him. No real errors that I could have seen.
No.
Probably a 7 for me, or a solid 7.5, maybe 8. I had no issue with Pompey tonight, and him and his edge defense with Roger. Very, very nice.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm probably going to go a 7. Just a really good performance, right? Like, this is what Pompey does. Pompey does this really well. Sometimes he could have the 1 or 2 error in his game, but in this one, I'm pretty sure he had a clean game here. And I thought that when he had to move to the wing, he settled in really, really nicely. So I'm going a 7. I thought he was really, really solid tonight.
Yep. And then Roger, pre-injury, I thought edge defense-wise, he was really, really good.
Agreed.
Everything, his involvements were good too. I got him in that same range, 7 to 7.5 to 8. Where did you have him?
I would have loved to see him continue out for the game, but that one moment that he did his hamstring on was an amazing cover tackle moment where he left his assignment, moved off and made that play. So I'm going to go a 7.5. I thought that he was really strong for all the moments I was on there for. Just sucked to see him go with that hamstring injury, because I think he could have been an 8 or so performance later on in the game. He would have picked a moment to really strike as well, I believe.
Going over to CHT, I thought he was quite well. Yeah, that few errors, but he nailed that one moment that was so pivotal and changed the game and got us over the line. I'll probably give him a 7 as well. Good kicking game, everything quite solid. Probably some moments again, the halves will need to kind of ice moments, but the activity's good. Very active, very engaged. Maybe went a little bit quiet for a period there, but that's what happens in games. There are highs and lows. So where would you have CHT tonight?
Missed opportunist, right? He scored that try to put us out ahead. and took the opportunity when it presented himself. Obviously, a couple of errors, but it did feel like one of those contests where he just wanted to take it with both hands. Those errors came off of him running in the line really hard, trying to get on the front foot and turn the contest his way. So I'm going to go a 7. I thought that he was solid across the board, good kicking game. Didn't do anything crazy wrong other than a couple of errors, and obviously got us back in the contest. So shout out to Chanel. I thought it was a solid baseline performance.
Yep. Now, Metcalf. I thought he picked his moments at the right time. Kicking game was quite solid again as well. Probably, a little quiet parts, but again, I think it's kind of taken away from that. This team is totally different, or at least at this stage, is a group performance. But what did you make of Metcalf? I probably had him in that 7.5 range. Missed 2 goal to the kicks as well that could have made it a little bit more comfortable. But apart from that, I thought defensively solid. Everything else was solid from him.
Yeah, I think Metcalf's performance will obviously bode so much better with another watch. I think like emotions with a halfback, we ride emotions, right? And I think that when we rewatch, we end up looking at what the halfback was trying to set up and what he was trying to do. And you see a lot of better moments out of him when you watch it the second time. But when you watch it the first time, you kind of blame a lot of him when you don't really see other things going on. So I'm going a 7 with you as well. I didn't want to go a 6 or anything because I felt like in some moments that he didn't really have some, it looked clunky in moments, right? But I also thought that his kicking game was solid, his defense was solid, and obviously Metcalf, he's just lightning in moments with his attack. So I'm going to 7 because I want to rewatch it back and I want to see. I'll probably look at the performance a little bit better from our halves with a second watch comparatively to the first.
Yep. And I think every time you watch back and you learn more. Again, guys, this is off the top of our domes, what we remember, what we've seen. So we'll try and keep it that way. Now probably going to Fisher Harris there. I thought he was rock solid again, just consistent. 7.58, nothing special, nothing wrong. Clean play the balls. Good solid tackle tech. Everything's really just always consistent, which is great. So I give him that 7.58ish range. I thought Webby managed his minutes well as well, kept him fresh. So good game from him.
I was really happy with him, bro. I thought that I credit Webby the way he used him in this contest too. So I'm going an 8 with Fish. I thought that there was a moment there where Spencer was really winding up momentum-wise. You remember he busted through that big tackle. And I was like, Webby, if there's any moment to put Fish on, he needs to come on now. And I think within that next camera change to where we got the ball, I saw Fish in that there, and I was like, perfect change. He settled down, within that moment, I thought Fish really took it to him and he kind of went quiet in moments there too. So, I thought that Fish was incredible, especially defensively. We're not even get through, but 128 run meters in this one, 51 post contact. I thought that he was solid in all areas of his game tonight. So shout out to Fish, our captain.
Good to see the boys. Fish still out there signing autographs and taking photos. Good on our boys really getting out there and, showing love to the fans, bro. So love to see that. Egan, another great, probably back-to-back games, 2 good back-to-back games from him. I know a lot of people saying man of the match for some people. Look, I thought it was a good game from him, a good solid game. I probably have him in the 8.5. It was just as pivotal in getting everyone active and going defensively for me still. He's looking really rock solid and tight. Was a little bit worried when he got that little knock on the chin, but apart from that, he's looking pretty solid and making use of tonight when you can run an Egan without a backup hooker, just bolsters your forward rotation bench, and you can get Webby to use that full bench like he did tonight and nail it against a physical team. You got to have Egan for 80 minutes. But where'd you have him on his performance tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to give him an 8.5. I did think there was moments where, I would have loved to see a little bit more out of him as well. But I thought that his game in general was really, really great. Defensively, as you just touched on, 48 tackles, 5 missed tackles in this game, but not missed tackles, such a misleading stat in ways, because a lot of his missed tackles came from leading line speed, getting up there, bouncing off of Spencer Lenu. It happens, right? That's just what happens in a game. but no line breaks came off the back of him. Like, I thought he was really, really solid in general. And he got the boys around the park. He was our sole leader in the middle there. So I'm going to go an 8.5 because it's back-to-back weeks now that I've been really happy with his performances, and he's gotten through a full game. So great to see.
Barnett, I think you will probably look at the tape and realize Barnett was actually really solid in this game. Played a little bit on the edge, played a little bit everywhere. Webby used him well. I think Webby went to the well early. Did Webby just check? Did Webby pull him off early in the first half? He didn't play right to the 50.
He played up till I think about the 20-minute mark in the first half, and then they pulled him off. Maybe 15 left to go. He pulled him off, and then he brought him up in the perfect time. So Fish came back on to stop Spencer, and off the back of that, I think Barnett come off and they put. And I thought that was a really good change because I thought Barnett's better stint came at the end of the game. He found a lot of moments at the end, tired pack, played himself in moments off the edge. So I thought he was really, really good. 159 meters, 74 post contact. I've got to give him an 8. I think he was solid at the back end of this game.
And guys, shows you that last week he played straight 50 because Webby wanted him for that plan. I think Webby called a great game tonight. Saw that pulled him off when he needed to earlier, and trusted Dimitri. Dimitri had to work hard in that section. Ford was huge. We'll get to him soon, but I'm actually happy with that one there. We'll go now to Capewell. Look, 80-minute back rower. I think he is. What we see from Capewell is what I think we see from Capewell, but I think it's still very good quality play defensively. Thought he was sound tonight when he moved to centre as well. Just in those last minute of the game, making sure that everything was rock solid. I'll probably give him a good 7.5. Nothing over the top. No errors from him. Very active. What do you have him at?
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I'm going to go a 7.5. There was a lot of underlying moments that he did very well. His cover defense was really solid. There was a line break that they made that he covered on James Tedesco. He came from the opposite end of the field and made that tackle. I think it was the fifth and last tackle. He had a lot of those moments in this game. So his work probably will go unnoticed to a lot of people. They didn't see it, obviously, not the attacking output, anything like that. But that's not what Capewell does. Capewell does a lot of those fix-up moments. He's missed the fix-it. And then moving to that center position, I thought that he ended the game fairly well, solid there. So I'm going to go Capewell 7.5.
Yep, fair call there. On the other side, Marata, I thought one of his better games overall, consistency-wise. For him, I'd probably put him in an 8 based on his standards and what he's been performing, but very happy with him tonight. Shut down a lot of Angus's work early, and Angus can be quite physical. I thought Marata aimed up really, really well. But I was very impressed with him. Just consistency and not getting too puffed. He didn't run out of energy. We know he's a 60-minute player, really, and I think he played 60 and then came off. And I thought he nailed his 50 to 60 minutes. So great performance from him. I got him in that 8 range. Yep. Just giving him a little bit more of a bump up based on he hasn't been really performing the last couple games.
Yeah, I'm going to go a 7.5 as well, similar to Capewell. I thought a lot of his better work came defensive end. I thought defensively he was really stout tonight, and Angus Crichton didn't have a worldie of a night, and that shows how good he was on that edge. 50 minutes he did there, 31 going the way of Lek Alasima. I think that there could be a time, as I kind of predicted, I thought it was going to happen maybe earlier in the season, but there will be a time where Webby will end up trusting Lecker a little bit more. And I think that we're going to end up seeing Marata play like a 30-minute stint to start the game, pull him off, Lecker finish out the game in that edge back rower, and move Marata through the middle. I think there will come a time where that happens, and I think he can do that. He had that really good run too, which ended up causing the injury to Victor Radley in that, remember, early on in the game too. So had a damaging run there. So I'm going 7.5.
Another man, I'll probably go 7.5, Aaron Clark. I thought he was just really solid. Kept it simple in his game plan. Came in on that last 10, 15 minutes. Good call by Webby. It was just the right time for just some tempo. But I've got him in that same range. What about for you, for Aaron?
I'm going to go on 8. I was really impressed with him late on in that game.
Oh,
When he came on that second stint, he was just
yep.
rolling well. The quick play to ball speed. I thought that was really, really good performance from him. The only knock I had on him was that one-on-one miss that he had on
Oh, yeah.
Nafahu White for the
Yeah, good
try.
call.
The hit and spin from Nafahu, that happens in football. But good to see him recover. And I think he didn't do anything else wrong for me overall in the night. 164 run meters, 59 post contact, a lot of quick play to ball speed. I thought he was really good in the middle there.
No, yeah, you can't fault him there. Going to the bench, Dylan Walker, probably one of his more quiet nights. Didn't quite see the attack and shapes going out the back and those types of things. I'll probably have him in the 6.57 range.
Yep.
Nothing too amazing, nothing too bad. Defensively, didn't miss any assignments that I could see. But yeah, just not quite what we expect from Walker, but that's okay too. Yeah, I think with time, maybe his game plan with the halves will come and develop.
Yep.
But for what it is right now, it's still decent. Yep. What do you have there?
Yeah, I'm going to go with 7. He helped us early on in the game, I thought, when he came on for the first Ali try. I thought when we put him on that moment, our attacking shape looked a ton better. But the mid part of the game, I did think he was there. He was doing a great job. I just didn't notice him later on. Then we brought Aaron Clark back on and we finished out the game through the middle. And I feel like we found ascendancy. So he didn't have his crazy, amazing game, but he still got through a ton of work there, 134 meters and stuff that he knows he did. So that's why I went A7. I thought that he was solid. And there was moments where he came on and he did touch and change the contest. But, obviously with Dylan Walker, his ability, I expect more as well in more time later on. So 7 for me.
Yep. Going now to Jackson Ford, I thought one of his really good games from him. Cleaned up a lot of. I mean, that's how Jackson. There's probably another great performance from Manly, built off it this week. He was really solid. That tackle on Tedesco, that was huge. The ball on the inside, he chased it down. I thought he was just really solid. Gives you hard carries even when you're kind of not expecting it from Jackson. He lifts his game even when the game gets more difficult. So I've got him in the 8.5 range. Did a lot of dirty work while he was working with Dimitrik and Walker at the same time. So he doesn't have that kindness of having a Barnett and Fish around him. He had to really work hard with that unit, but they got the work done to keep the game tight there. I've got him in the kind of probably an 8.5 for me, but really, really impressed. What do you have for Jackson there?
I'm going to give him an 8 for this game. I thought it was really, really good. And one thing I'm going to give him too, guys, I credit him to have a really good start to the season. Even that Raiders game, when we had a spotlight over him, but it was more of the fitness of him later on in that contest when the Raiders started to find their way through. Early parts when he came on, I thought he was really solid in that game. And in that Manly game, I thought it was really, really solid for the minutes that Webby used him in. And I think we learned the lessons of how we're supposed to use Jackson Ford and how he can get through the game. I think he's a solid member to have in that middle block of the game to really, balance everything out, wade away, allow other teams to really try to just batter us through the middle. We're going to soak a lot of energy. Then we're going to bring on Fisher Harris and Barnett to finish out a game. And I think that bodes very well. So I'm going to give him an 8. And I think he's been a really crucial member to our side to start the season. So shout out to him. I think he's been really good off the bench.
Very nice. Dimitrik Vaimaunga, I thought he was... I got to give him around the 7.5. Thought he only played short minutes, but he was good for his impact. Yes, he had the 2 errors. Oh, Jesse Arthur's just missing out on my blimmin' super coach here, but we'll get there. I was
going to say, you're watching it too? Yeah, I'm watching it too.
I love it. But yeah, I thought Dimitrik still was very important, still had some really good carries, very still fit, energetic, even in the tackle. He was driving people back. I loved his energy, but I've got to give him probably a 7.5 in that range. I know I should probably, based on his youth, probably give him higher, but I think based on fairness of his work and what he had to do, and he played in that harder period of the game, which I've been asking for. We got it, and we were actually solid, so I've got to give him credit there.
Yeah, as an overall, like not taking in how young he is and how he can impact the game, as you touched on. Then I'm going to give him a 7. I thought that he had some moments there, but obviously he had an error to him. But he will grow, right? He's such a lethal part in the middle there. His aggression, I love to see. Again, like the key moment I point out for him is first kickoff off of halftime. He takes that hit up straight down the guts. I think Spencer Leniu and that were the first ones to meet him. So, and he powered through. So I love him. He's got such a big future. 7 for this game, but I see so much more out of him in the future.
Yep. And I think lastly, unless I missed everyone else, I think it's Leka Halasima.
That is right.
That carry, that period, he just got us through a ton of work, and it was all energy. Catching the back rowers and the forwards tired, really pushing that tempo. That offload that led to it was like a few plays later, but it led to the Tane kind of line break and then the CHT kick for the try. I thought that was huge. And I've got to give him close to an 8.5 there. Don't want to give him a 9 right now, but he was really, really effective and brought that energy. And I thought Webby got him on at the right time. So what do you have for young Leka there?
Oh, bro, you know how high I am and for him and his ceiling. Like I cannot wait to see the player he will become because he's still so young and so raw right now. But people are seeing the ability, and that's so good to see. I'm going to give him an 8. I thought he was really, really good. As soon as he came on, I could possibly push him to an 8.5, especially with how young he is and how he's changed the contest. But I thought that people got to remember too. He came on, for me, probably the more damaging side of the Roosters. So he had to go up against Angus Crichton. Like, if we're looking at the forward pack, you're looking at Angus Crichton, you're looking at Nafahu White, you're looking at Victor Radley. That was, amazing in this game. I thought Victor worked so hard. The opposite end of the field, probably their lightest player in that pack is Sua Wong, who's on the opposite end of the field. So he had to contend with, he was cutting back inside. He had to contend with Spencer Leniu, Nafahu White, Angus Crichton, Victor Radley. And it looked like he was just bouncing off and just kept charging through. Like, his ability is so strong. And I thought he was a good momentum changer for us. He upped our tempo late in that game. And just like you could see the energy through the group too late in that game when he had a lot of good moments. So I'm going to 8.5. You've done it to me. I'm going 8.5. I thought it was great.
8.5. Yeah, fair enough for the young man. Look,